and welcome to the Priggya Arora Show, where we discuss law, intellectual property, and entrepreneurship with people who have been there and done that. My name is Priggya Arora, founder of PA Legal, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Pushpak Singh, who is on the mission to spread intellectual property culture all over the world. Welcome, Pushpak, on the show.
Thank you so much, Prigya. I would say it's very energetic to hear you, interact with you. And thank you for having me in your show.
Thank you, Pushpak. So we'll start with your life story and how did you become the person you are today?
It's a long journey. But if I say means where it started for intellectual property, it started way back in 2006 nearby. And it was my course for MSc in biotechnology. I did it from Chaudhry Charan Singh University campus, and there was one of the topic which was for plant breeding and patents, trademarks, and IP. That was the first glimpse of what it is. It was quite boring, frankly speaking, and didn't appreciate it at that time. But then I moved to Mumbai in 2007, and I started as a lab attendant to wash the utensils, and then there was a discussion in between with CEO, means in R&D lab. He was visiting and he was talking about some antibodies and intellectual property, reading a sequence and everything. And I had a nick of reading in library and more studious stuff, finding research and everything. And I said, oh yeah, it can be done. And that was the beginning phase wherein I joined as an intern, and then it becomes scientific expert and IP. Then I enrolled in specific IP course for 1 year. And then it went to different IP roles, in-house counsel roles, patent agent role, trademark role. And now it is spreading or selling intellectual property products.
Wow.
That was in summary. It's a summary roller coaster ride.
I think a beautiful concept, because mostly, I think 80% of the people who are working in intellectual property start something with sciences and then they land up in this field.
Yeah, it's one of the prime focus, and I would say that since patent being very technical in nature, you need to have a little bit of science background. But currently, at present, I would say that it's not limited to science only. Yeah. You can go beyond science even if you are arts student, even if you are commerce student, or even if you are somewhat related to technical background, you can explore this field. It's a vast field. If you want to prosecute, you need means go in patent office, you need law degree, you need to be an agent, patent agent, to do this everything. But patent has various scope. You can draw, you can do financial evaluations of IP, you can be a creative enough to design logos and everything. And every facet of technology, be it any domain, you can explore it. But yes, 90% of stuff is for science background and science people.
Yeah,
I agree.
Great. So, Pushpak, over the years, you have, as you said, you have worked in different roles like patent agent, scientific researcher, then selling of IP products. So how do you think, because I think you have a bit taste of everything or every domain of IP. So how do you think, because this podcast would be specifically keeping in mind the job market and things like that. So how do you think the job market has changed over the years?
It's a good question. I would say yes, it has changed a lot. Previously, when intellectual property was discussed, it was that, can you give me a price of 2 BHK or 3 BHK property? But now people have changed a lot. Earlier, it used to be you have to be very technical whenever you want to look for patents or look for protecting your IP. You have to go law firm and then move further from there. Now people are more aware, being initiative from our government, like Skill India is there. You have to protect your IP. Patent office also does various things, and they do courses as well to show everything. So initially, when job market in India started, it was particularly unless until you have a law degree, you cannot excel here. Unless until you have a scientific degree, you cannot become a patent agent. And then when you qualify, people hire you on because of that only. So that was one of the prime requirement to qualify per se, to get a job and get settled there. Later on, it changed when service industry came up, wherein US, Europe, and out of India world market was saying that this work is kind of clerical, and I can get it done with the mindset of a fresh people. Means that I'm in a time zone which is for my time zone. My morning is their night, and if in night I give certain tasks to and outsource it to Indian, and India being a very, very nicely placed country in the world, I would say that when money making industry is sleeping, we are working, and this helped Indian service industry to grow after 2008 and 9, and wherein a new role came up. It was patent analyst role, and in that, you don't need to have a law degree. You don't need to have a scientific degree. If you know the stuff you are talking about, it's okay. Nobody talks about your certificate, how much percentage you get. But if you know that, okay, how I design a website, how I know a code, and how I can find a bug, or how I can find a specific document. Today, if I say that mobile is one of the keyword, and if I'm very, very expert in that particular industry, I know it can be called handheld device, it can be called a virtual PDA, it can be called as multiple way. And as long as I know those particular jargon, I know all the industry, then you are not longer bound to an degree itself. So yes, it is changed from law person, very, very limited, to a non-degree holding environment wherein patent analysts are there, researcher are there, evaluator are there. You have a CA degree and you know what money is, how things are going, what type of taxes are there, how you evaluate effectively a particular business company output, or your what we say it as a balance sheet. Then you can give a better valuation for it. So it moved from law to analyst, and now it is more creative in nature as well. So as long as you can draft very good, you can do a very good blogs, you can, as you say, means you are also doing a podcast. So it's growing further in that direction, wherein creativity like logo designing, drafting very well, and making illustration of a particular device as an image. In a patent, you have to have an image. And if you are good in some of the software, Corel Draw and SolidWorks and all of these things, making a 3D model of a particular screw, a particular mobile, or a particular engine, you are good. As in law degree, I won't be able to do it, or someone who has a law degree cannot be able to do it. But if you know the software, you know how the dimension works, you can draw a very, very nice image, which is more or less realistic and can explain an embodiment better. And you can make people make ton of money out of it. People make ton of money out of it. So yeah, it has changed. It has changed a lot. Yeah.
I agree with this very much. Like specifically, we have so many fields in IP itself what people can explore. For example, like IP docketing or patent docketing, we have so many software. We have firms who do only docketing, and for that docketing we do not require a law degree or a agent degree or anything else. We just require certain acumen. We require how to maintain deadlines, how to communicate, and those are basic skills which I think everybody know. So do you think like there could be many other opportunities, or there are many niche fields which people as a youngster, as like while they are in colleges or just after colleges, young people can explore? So can you give us examples of some niche fields which they can take up?
Niche field, since I said, I mean, recent time is creative time. Means you see many Many people create short videos, they create various stuff, and NFT right now it is booming further. You have
Correct.
different devices or images or emoticon or faces or drawings which are there. And since they are new, and if you are starting in a new field altogether, you have a better chance of excelling altogether.
Yes.
If I talk blockchain, if I talk a specific new tech topic, old lawyers who has not worked on that particular domain will not be able to comprehend, or maybe means there are tremendously good mind. They learn very faster than me. I'm not saying that they cannot learn, but I'm saying that you have an edge because you
Correct.
are connected with the new technology. So going with the new technologies and exploring those, how people protect it, it's going to be a new way. And a niche way is creative mind. So if you know how to design, how to draw, how to draft, those are the quick feature which everyone can explore. Even if you are a student, it is at present where the best way to hone your skill or expertise yourself is volunteering, or maybe when you are expert in drafting, many companies ask for write a disclosure for us,
Yeah.
write a blog post for us, write a short video for us. We want to market. In India, means law firm cannot market themselves, but they can create infographics.
Correct.
They can create means analytical output. And as a student, you have ton of time to research everything, and you can explore that. And don't wait. I would say don't wait for big firm, hotshot companies to come up, law firm to come up. You design yourself. LinkedIn is so much open. You just make an infographic and send to the owner of that particular law firm. He will love it. He will notice you. Sending a CV is nothing. He will receive tons of CV in a single day.
Yeah.
But if you are sending something which adds value, which say, okay, yeah, I can repost it, I can do it somewhere. And people are very, open in terms of crediting. When we
Correct.
say that, okay, when you are in a mid-level position, people tend to steal the works. Okay, yahan se inspire hue, let's make it there. But when you send it to owner of a law firm or the owner of a company or a big marketing guy person, your creative stuffs, your creative writing, they appreciate it and they tag you, and you get a immense, I would say, visibility in terms of that work. So it's for any industry, but for IP industry, it is very common. And if you are a good researcher, maybe exploring IP as a profile, it will hone your skill. You learn a specific case, you read a case and make a summary out of it.
Correct.
What will happen? What worse will happen? It will only happen that, okay, yes, your interpretation is not right. Someone will correct you, but they will contact you. They will write something and you engage someone and you learn. Ultimate goal is learn and then enjoy the stuff.
Absolutely so true, because I think whenever I interact with younger generation, they're like, oh my god, we are not getting a job, we want job in the field of IP, but we do not know how to start with. So I ask them, okay, you can write content, like you can yourself write content on your LinkedIn page or on your Twitter page, or you can make reels, whatever you want to do. Create something so that people know you and they want to work with you. As you said, a law firm, a small law firm like me, like mine also, we also get so many CVs in a day that it's nearly impossible to go through every one of it and know that person. And since from the CV also we get limited information, like how that person will work. But if we have seen a work, I think the chances of getting into wherever that person wants to land in increases. So probably I think they can also, with the CV, they can send something, previous work, previous research, so that we also get an idea what is happening.
Absolutely. This was one of the role of cover letters. Usually people used to send cover letters, but tremendously, I would say that posting own content on LinkedIn is okay. But what best really works and really help you is if a owner of a law firm or someone is posting some news,
Correct.
you give some of your insight there as a comment.
Yes.
Don't get afraid that I need to create something new. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yes.
Ask question means I think in this way, and people are okay. Means even if owner doesn't reply or someone else, but people are viewing your comment. And standalone creating yourself has not helped me. Means I have done ton of posts
Correct.
by myself, but what I really thought of and I would say observed, a correct word is observe, is when I interact with the post and direct message itself that yeah, means this thing is something interesting. And when you appreciate them, you get a better visibility, ton of other visibility. Instead of posting yourself on your page is okay, people will like and everything. But engagement is the key. You have to engage that person. And when you are in engagement mode, showing your creativity, and if you have a value, I would say that word is a limit, sky is a limit. Nobody can limit you.
Absolutely. So I and Pushpak also got connected in this manner only through LinkedIn, because I think we have met in a few conferences, but that interaction is very limited. So, but
Absolutely.
when we interact personally, maybe in LinkedIn comments, direct messages on the platform itself, it is a different level of engagement. We know who, like, to which person
absolutely.
we are interacting with. And a small tip for everyone who is listening this, if you think that I don't know what to comment, because many of you are in the domain that I don't know what can I comment on this, just make a three key takeaway points from whatever you read, and write my key takeaway from your paper, from your research paper is this, from your video is this. That comment will get a lot of visibility. I have tried it myself, so this is a
awesome.
tried and tested method which I follow.
Expert tip, I would say expert tip.
And very easy to do. I think everyone can do it, but the thing is, nobody wants to take action. Easier action, it's taking regularly, is something which is difficult.
Something which is not comfortable, it's always let you grow. So I would say that don't get afraid. Whatever the thing is, whatever you feel, you write it, but it should be a positive one. I'd say that put a positive note of yourself. Digital footprint, yes, I would say it's very, very, very risky stuff. Whatever you put outside of your word, it remains almost practically forever. So you write and write that it can create an impact for someone's life. So yes,
absolutely. So Pushpak, now let's discuss some of the job opportunities which could be present. Like what are the job roles in which people can go into? Like if I want to start a career, I know there are specific job roles in the organization. So how I decide a job role, like we know the skills, we know people can draft, draw, and do something else, but in an organization, what are the job roles they can take up?
In terms of IP, I will categorize into three different categories. One category is called as a corporate, pure corporate work, which is companies having an IP person and they do it. Second type of role is called as a service industry. We call it as a searching industry, drafting or designing industry and everything. And third role is a law firm role, wherein you have a law firm in that you either start off your own or you join a specific law firm. So all of these three categories requires your different mindset. One of the mindset, if you have a law background, means you have done law and you have a vision that, okay, I can argue, I can debate, and I can find positive and as well as negative stuff in a same draft, in a same film. Let's say an example of Ramayana. In Ramayana, Ravan is good also and bad also. Can you defend both of them? So every story, every patent, you have a positive and negative. You can sometimes become invalidator, sometimes becomes I want to keep it as such, means I want to keep a patent. So if you are in a mindset, or if your personality or your upbringing or your thought process, law background, you have someone in your family in law, or you mentored by someone who is in law, then you go for a law firm. And it also comes to your vision that what I want? Do I want to start my own? Then you need to go in a law firm environment, and that rule is there. In that, prime criteria is you should have at least as soon as possible a law degree to have it. Or even if you don't want to go in a law background, don't want to litigate, you do have a one of the courses from, I would say, one of the certification, which is patent agent certification, which is done by patent office. So these are the two criteria if you are looking in that direction. If you are looking in a direction wherein you want to be in a 9 to 6 job and have a peace of mind, whatever work is assigned to me, I will do that work. And whatever work I don't know, I will give it to law firm, go for corporate. That, okay, 9 to 6 is fine. Whatever I don't know draft, give it to Priggya, she will draft it for me. So go for corporate. And again, in corporate, you have few things. And there is a limitation, means there is a limitation. Sometimes people do ask for same patent agent degrees. Sometimes if you want to go further, like GM, VP of intellectual property, you need to have a law degree as well to take care of everything. So starting point, you can start with the some law courses, 1 or 2 degree law, 2 years law courses. And corporate can be open profile for you to go and further join in there. And as you grow further, 9 to 6 is fine, and I want to be in that particular corporate profile. It's okay. It's an okay phase, but it's not future proof. I would say it's not a future proof, because after certain period of time, it will happen that you have the same kind of work. You don't have a big challenge. In India, IP is, I would say, in the beginning stage.
Yes.
It will boom a lot. But it's on beginning stage. And later on, the same work can be done by a new entrant, and you have to excel, either do law, either do patent agent exam, or you have certain certification. And then in corporate, at a certain level, you will reach. And third one is legal service industry, which is kind of say is a boon for any BTech person or any person who has a skill. This is open industry. You don't need a certifications. You don't need a law degree. You can start as an analyst immediately. I would say that even if you are not passed out, you can reach out to the law service industry. There are ton of, I would say 50, 60 different industries coming up. And they are open. Means if you are a nick of mind, you can find a patent, find a reference articles quickly than anyone else. You know the technical jargon. You will be treated as a hero.
Yes.
every month they make you a champion. Yes, it's a searching champion, drafting champion. And you're not in your degree. You need to know your industry. You need to know how to find things. In Google, you can find things, and you can do some searching very good. Then you can be in service industry. In service industry, there are multiple roles. One is searching role. Then you have some service industry have a drafting role, landscaping role, knowing the technology from where it started, where it coming. It's a timeline you have to make, it's called as a landscape and everything. And what is new coming up. To read a new technical patent, you need to know new technology. And recent passed out, I would say, recent cleared your masters or bachelors, you are very connected with the new upbringing in that particular technology, and you can understand it well and feed it to your management, because they have cleared their bachelors 6 years earlier, 7 years earlier. They don't know the new stuff. So you can train them and you can tell them. So it's going to means very, very, it's a booming industry, and these kind of rules are very important. One of the role I have skipped in between is in terms of technology, or in terms of a law bringing. There is one more role which might come in future, and it will be in future, that currently we have civil courts, we do have criminal courts, all the thing. There will be IP courts as well.
Correct.
So if you are in an IP person, and you think that you can argue, and there will be a huge need in future, maybe after 6, 7 years or 10 years, IP person who understands the new technology, and he is a lawyer as well. So he can litigate. So there are technical person, means there is a role of technical person in every court. But unless until you know what you are really talking in that particular patent or litigation case, you won't be able to defend it. I might have 10, 20 years of law experience, but technical things are technical things, and small details, small comma, small dots, some small grammatical mistakes can win or lose cases for you.
Correct.
So this is one of the role. It's a futuristic role.
Correct.
I don't see it at present. There are various law firms are there. They are expert. They will be able to do it. But in future, I foresee that yes, there will be certain IP courts, and India is one of the biggest market.
Correct.
One of the biggest market for IT or IP. It's going to be happening. New auto, car industries, and everything are manufacturing here. It's a big market, and wherever markets are there, injunctions are there. You have court cases. You have passing offs. You have infringements. So it's going to help you out. If you are in IP on law, future is good, but you have to be updated.
Yeah, I so agree with this, because with litigation we are just starting up. We have hardly, like, we can count the number of cases which have been there in the Supreme Court. So it's still a double-digit number, not a triple-digit number. So I myself feel that this industry is going to boom, and as you said, it is very, very important, and a normal lawyer cannot, I think it is impossible for them to do claim interpretation what a patent attorney does. So normally patent attorney does a claim interpretation and then explain it to the litigating lawyer. So that acumen in itself is very, very important. So if you can tap on that document, like how claims are read, how they are interpreted, and you have capability to explain it to the people who are non-lawyers, non-IP professionals. Because what happens in court generally is a judge would not know the technology in the manner you know the technology. So it is very important for you to read first read the technology well, understand the technology well, and then explain it to people who might not be aware of that technology as much as you are. So I think that is one idea which I have in mind, like people who can
absolutely
this skill would
absolutely
excel.
Absolutely. I would say judge is very, very expert in doing everything, but there is a saying in there is a saying in judge reviews, and I would say I might be wrong, but I would say they are really, really expert, but they work on the arguments which has been represented. They don't invent by themselves.
Correct.
So you have to represent in a very, very ABC manner. Correct. So that they can make an informed decision. Just option is that I'm a god at present, and I will judge based on what my child is saying. Okay. So if you're, as an attorney, you can put all of your wordings, all of the embodiments, all of the argument in very, very basic manner to distinguish what is the actual case here. They will make an informed decision. They are not here to learn technology. They are here to get the essence. What is the problem? What I need to get solved.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pushpak, let's discuss some gaps now. Like, what are the gaps which probably law school or technical institutes, because we have engineers and lawyers both in this industry, what they are teaching, and what is a gap in the industry, like when they go for work they require, and how they can probably fix those gaps by self-learning or in whichever means they can do.
It's a very, very big question. I would say that I'm not expert in this particular field, but what I felt as a student and what I feel as a parent as well, there are certain gaps, and which is getting filled by indirectly. I would say indirectly. When we were doing our masters, or there was an assignment, you have to be in industry, you have to make a thesis and then submit it to us. It was one of the way to observe what industry works, and then you replicate it there. But it is limited. It's limited because you go to a specific organization, you make a thesis, and you just read a project report and submit it. Sometimes it's a pure copy paste of here and there. It's called Bhanumati ka kurba joda, and you give it. So, but it gives you exposure, but this exposure is only one. What I think is there should be industry talks. There should be an industry, and YouTube is really helping if you are willing to explore. LinkedIn is also helping you if a student is willing to explore, but student mind is so much tied up in the syllabus and all of these things, they don't explore it. And by the time you explore, the things are gone already. And I would say that one thing which I can say to improve, and maybe it's not a correct window as well, is having industry exposure by way of invitation. So they should invite IP heads of various companies, that what is the challenge, what do they face, and how things are run in that particular department, how a law firm head manages time, how an argument is made in an actual scenario. One of the really thing means, I would say I was blessed when I started my IP journey. I had a pleasure, really pleasure, a kind of a mentor, Mr. Baju and Mr. Gopal. He taught me that he told me that there is oral proceedings of a court in US.
Yes.
So in US, you have, before submitting a case, both the attorney, they talk, and that MP3s are uploaded in the US court system. And it helped me grow a lot. I mean, I learned a lot in terms of delivery, in terms of making an argument, in terms of what really the essence of the case is there. And I feel that, yeah, teacher will tell you, and tutor will tell you there are various courses, they are good and expert. But when you hear it from some industry people, it will help you to grow, and it will help you to learn a number of things.
Yeah.
And this thing is missing right now. It is going with the national education policy right now, which our Prime Minister Shri Modi ji has incorporated, was that you have to have a parent come of your students that can explain what they do in 5 minutes. Yeah. And frankly, I was very scared that how will I teach a 3-year-old kid, say class 3 kid, that what patent is, because it's complex. But yes, it is something that in their 1-year curriculum, they will hear what things are going on in actual learning, and that too 40-50 student and 40-50 instance. Yeah. Instead of one project report which you are going to submit, one case report which you have to explain in the PowerPoint presentation or something. So exposure which is beyond the course, which is Akbar Birbal, no. You want to have no, means Kurukshetra ki ladai hui, Panipat ki ladai hui, nothing is not going to matter now. What matters really now is how to use Excel sheet, how do people make PDF, how do they edit it, how do they tag it, how do you search it. So industry thinks what really matters is how do I make a course proceeding, how do I present an argument in front of a judge. That really makes, that is missing in, I would say, in a present. Means when I did it, it was missing. Right now, yes, there are mock drill, there are moot court. I see many people do it. And I have been, it has been my privilege to join this NIMMS course, from where I did this patent course. It was given by expert, industry expert. Many law firm expert came and they talked about it, and it helped me to grow. I think this is one of the way to go. And as an IP student, I would say, if you want to excel in this industry, you have to see, and maybe you can watch Priggya's podcast with every industry, and you can learn more about it as well.
Thank you so much, Pushpak, for saying this. But for students, like you said, it is so important. You find a good mentor who is from an industry.
Absolutely.
And probably stick with that mentor for a long period of time. You'll get to know how they operate throughout the day, how they work, what is their work life looks like, what their personal life looks like. And this will give you a lot of edge, like how groundwork happens in the industry.
Bang on. I would say you catch the face is mentor. I have been blessed, yes, there are immense, lovely people. I would say they are so great. They share their views and whatever they have, and they try to be, yeah, okay, I'm at some place. but I need to make this person grow as well. And it's very, very important you get a mentor. And mentor is something that is not money transaction. I never paid a single dime to anyone. It's just that you go with the question and they guide you that, okay, yes, this is the way to go. And you don't treat them as a teacher. You just say, okay, this is guide me. I'm just stuck in here. And they tell you that since they have industries scope, and it's very, very hard to get mentor as well, I would say. It's very hard to get a good mentor as well. But yes, ask for help. Yes, you will get a help. Universe always gives whatever you are looking for. So get a mentor. Nothing for me.
Universe will give you a mentor if you are trying to find one.
Absolutely.
So Pushpak, now we'll come to our quick rapid fire round before we wrap up, and it's a 3-1 rapid fire round. And I'll shoot 3 questions to you. What are 3 things in life you're grateful for?
Number 1, mentor. Universe gives me always help. Second thing is openness and speaking without a fear. That is one of the best thing happened to me, and I got various opportunity because I expressed my mind. I expressed what I learned without a fear. That is, I'm grateful for that God gave me courage to not get fear. Third one is good family.
Wow.
Good family.
Mentor, courage, and good family. Wow, awesome. And 2 traits that you think are useful for a professional career.
Acumen to read without a biasness. If you are reading a patent, reading a claim, or reading any document, don't get biased that I have to invalidate. Based on your judgment, you just read any situation, any argument, or any comment, whichever you read or hear from anyone, even if it's from opposite counsel. If you are just hearing it, expressing it, and feeling it, and don't get biased that he is my rival. And keenness is important. Minute detail, 1 dot is very, very important. Don't take it lightly. In IP, nothing is lightly. Even if you're getting a 0 result from a keyword, it has a meaning, and you have to learn that meaning. And you have to get that particular acumen that in minor detail, you have to read between the lines. I would say read between the lines.
Wow, awesome. Acumen and keenness, I think very important skill for an IP professional. And 1 aspiration you have for the future?
For me, I want to run a half marathon.
Wow.
That is for me. I have a personal goal that yes, I want to run a half marathon. But
awesome.
Very slow learner. I get tired easily, but this is my goal for at least 2 years, that run a half marathon.
Awesome. Slow. I think you will be able to do it.
It's very hard, very hard. I'm self-sabotaging person in some ways. I want to get out of it as well. Yes, I will do it someday. I'll post it on LinkedIn once I do it.
Absolutely. And we'll be there to cheer you up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes. So Pushpak, now we'll end with any final thoughts from you to our audience.
Nothing is impossible. Even impossible word says that I am possible. So please believe in yourself. You don't get self-doubt that I won't be able to do it. You will get it, a negative thought that, okay, it's very hard. Nothing comes in easy in life. So I would say that nothing is impossible. If you have thought that, okay, I want to be in IP, you can be IP. God and universe doesn't give you a thought that for a waste. He sees a capability to you. You are coming to this podcast because God wanted you to listen it. And if you feel and believe in yourself that I can do it, you will be able to do it. And nothing is impossible. I would say tirelessly, you can print it on your t-shirt, print it on your desk. Impossible is nothing. You can do anything. People thought that they cannot fly. Now they can fly. So nothing is impossible.
Wow, I just got a quote. Nothing is impossible and impossible is nothing. Just
Awesome.
believe
Awesome.
in yourself and you'll be able to achieve heights. So thank you, Pushpak, for your time and for your willingness to share. I absolutely enjoyed it, and I know my audience is going to love this episode.
Thank you so much for having me. मुझे आपसे बात करके बहुत अच्छा लगा और I'm honored that you have invited me, and it was one of the best hour of our 24 hours which I have. I really appreciate it and wish you best of luck, and each and every one listener have a really, really good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey there, thank you for attending today's session. If you enjoyed today's session, do follow our channel and consider sharing it with a friend. My name is Priggya Arora, daughter of inspiring parents, alumna of IIT Kharagpur, engineer turned lawyer and entrepreneur, and now founder of PA Legal, where we help creators and innovators protect their intellectual property. Thank you.